Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Shank's Ranks. Today I'm going to be doing a review on Godzilla vs. Kong, the 3D Blu-ray. I know this has been out for a while, but I finally got around to watching it in 3D, so I thought I'd share my thoughts. I have this copy. This is the one that I actually watched. It's a 4K 3D combo pack that I bought from India, but then it also is sold in the United States as well. I had to support the format, so I got it for the US as well. This one I got from Best Buy, the app, so you might still be able to find it on there. Every once in a while they pop up because I know they've been sold out a lot. So let's just get into it real quick. Just so you know, this movie does have 2.39 widescreen, so you will have the black bars on the top and bottom. So I've watched all the other monster movies like Kong Skull Island, the first Godzilla, King of Monsters, and then this one. This is probably my second favorite out of the four in 3D, first one being Kong Skull Island. The first Godzilla was just completely too dark, and it didn't seem like there was that much depth in it at all. King of Monsters was a pretty good improvement, but I would say this is probably my second best out of all of them. So this one, it's good, but that's also not saying much either. This is just my opinion. We have like very consistent depth throughout the whole movie. But I would honestly probably give the depth on this maybe 3 out of 5 stars, only because there's not a lot of separation of objects. Like, you know, it looks like a step up from turning the auto 3D conversion feature on your TV. It was better than that, but like I said, when I want depth, I want to see stuff that really stretches in. I want to see, like, if you're in the jungle, I want to see like bushes kind of like on the outside, looking like they're on the outside of the screen while the picture goes in and you see characters separated from each other. That's what I want to see when it comes to depth. I didn't get a whole lot of that in this movie, so definitely going to say 3 out of 5 stars for the depth. For like pop out effects, there were some pretty decent scenes, but nothing that really stood out a lot. Like, so when I look for pop-out scenes, of course, I like seeing those gimmicky ones where they literally come out of the screen into your living room and make you go cross-eyed. I know some people hate that and they prefer depth. I like those kind of scenes. Didn't see any of that. But then there were also other scenes where I felt like it had a lot of missed potential. Like the scene where that crew go with Godzilla, or not Godzilla, King Kong, sorry, where they go with King Kong into that prehistoric looking dimension or whatever, and there's a scene where I think Kong is like, I don't know, battling some weird creatures down there, and the crew in their little hovercrafts kind of like circle around Kong while he's fighting, and it looks like those little hovercrafts that they're flying want to come out of the screen, like, but they're just not quite breaking the barrier. It just seemed really disappointing. So I zoomed in the picture. I have that all directional zoom on my TV. I zoomed it in, and it actually did look a lot better like that. It looked like those hovercrafts were coming off the screen. But the OCD in me was like, no, you can't watch it like this. You're not seeing the full picture. This isn't how the director wanted you to see it, you know? So I put it back to its normal aspect ratio. Definitely Kong versus Godzilla would be my second favorite, next to Skull Island. Skull Island was fantastic 3D, very good depth. This one, you know, the pop-outs on this one, if I had to rate them, I don't know, probably like 1.5 out of 5 stars. It looked good, and I still prefer watching it in 3D than in 4K, because it does offer a very good layer of depth, but it just feels like there was some missed opportunity. One improvement I will say, though, is that it has 7.1 DTS HD Master Audio. Normally with the... wow, I can't believe I'm saying that's an improvement. So we hope for Dolby Atmos for these 3D discs, don't we? But realistically, we don't get it a lot of the time. Usually we get 5.1 DTS on like Sony 3D releases and a lot of the Warner Brothers ones. So to get 7.1 on this, I mean, I was thankful for that at least. The bass was super loud, really punchy, makes your seats vibrate. Of course, it's a Warner Brothers flick. Lot of really good panning effects with the surround sound. If you are able to turn your receiver to, I can't remember what the setting is. I think it's called DTS Neural X or Neutral X or something like that. Anyway, it utilizes your Atmos speakers, and you're not really getting true Dolby Atmos, but it does make it a little bit more immersive. But other than that, it was super loud though, so I was impressed with it. Do I think it's worth getting in 3D? Yes, absolutely, especially since it's sold in the US. Seems like Warner Brothers is the only one selling these things nowadays. So yeah, I would get it. This one, the one I got from India, I got this off of eBay through a trusted seller because unfortunately Amazon India does not ship to the US, but he had a pretty good deal for this. I mean, it was $50. You may not think that's a good deal, but if you're buying 4K and 3D separately, then technically you are saving a few bucks by getting this. So there's that. Now that I'm done talking about this, really quickly, I wanted to talk about Eternals. I was supposed to do a review on the theatrical 3D release of that, going through some personal issues at home, so I never got around to it. But I know a lot of you have probably already seen it in 3D, wanted to hear your thoughts on it. I thought it looked amazing, and it was also my first 4DX 3D experience as well. Never been to a 4DX theater, and this thing, it was awesome, I loved it. And as far as the 3D goes, I thought the picture was bright, super colorful, very vivid. The depth was amazing, especially during the scenes where the Eternals are in space talking to that big, I don't know what the hell he is. I can't remember the name they call him. He reminds me of Galactus for some reason. Anyway, those space scenes were phenomenal. A lot of good pop-out scenes with special effects when they're demonstrating their powers, when they're fighting those deviants by the ocean. I just thought it was really stellar 3D. The question is, are we going to get this on a 3D Blu-ray release? You know, judging by how things are going, we probably might get that Japanese release, but again, it's like, you're spending a lot of money on that, and then on top of that, all the scenes that have different languages, you have to use the pop-up menu to put up the subtitles, or just leave the subtitles on throughout the whole movie. So it's really up to you whether or not you think it's worth it or not. Also, IMAX scenes. So what I've noticed is when there's a movie that's not completely shot in IMAX, they'll give it an IMAX 3D release on Blu-ray, like Captain Marvel or Black Widow or whatever. But if it's fully shot in IMAX, like Endgame, Shang-Chi, Infinity War, then we don't get the IMAX 3D release for that. If I'm not mistaken, Eternals wasn't completely shot in IMAX. I think I read somewhere that it had alternating aspect ratios. If that is the case, then we could look forward to it having an IMAX 3D Blu-ray in Japan only. So once I find out, I'll let you guys know. Thanks a lot for watching, and stay tuned.